Today's study is going to be on Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. There's words in there that I think that we need to dig a little bit deeper in for more understanding. But before we start the study, we ask Father to open our eyes, open our ears, and let us dig in deeper to your word, Father, with understanding. Give us wisdom. In Jesus' name I pray. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickednesses in high places. So let's start breaking this down and see what we can come up with. So the first part is flesh and blood. Who do we wrestle against? We wrestle against the wicked spirits in high places. Who are these wicked spirits in high places, you may ask? Well, when we are done with this study, you will know who and what the wicked spirits are in high places. The next word is principalities. Let's look into this word. In the Companion Bible, the principalities are the chief rule or rulers. In Luke chapter 12, verse 11, the subject is magistrates. The magistrates are appointed by the chief judges to hear cases. So let's read Luke chapter 12, verse 11. Luke chapter 12, verse 11. And when they bring you unto the synagogues and unto magistrates and powers, take ye no thought how or what things ye shall answer or what ye shall say. So the magistrates are appointed by the chief judges to hear cases. In Revelation chapter 17, verses 12 through 14, we read who the chief judges are. Remember, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. This is a spiritual war. So let's go to Revelation chapter 17, verses 12 through 14. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no power as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And of course, that's the hour of temptation. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Well, we know the beast is Satan. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called the chosen and faithful. The chief judges are the 10 kings that come with Satan, the Antichrist. The 10 kings have no kingdom yet. Question: do you think the 10 king spirits are here on earth causing chaos? Their spirits come in and out, just like Satan's spirit. The magistrates of the flesh, aka men of this world, is known as the United Nations. So here's a short clip that you can watch that describes the United Nations.
The Second World War caused enormous destruction and left large parts of the world in ruins. That's why the United Nations was established with one main target: to prevent war in the future. The UN is a meeting point where leaders from all around the world can interact. In the UN, countries try to agree on which rules and agreements should apply in the world. The most important topics of discussion in the UN are peace and security, human rights, and sustainable development. The Sustainable Development Goals is the United Nations global agenda to end poverty, fight inequality, and combat climate change by 2030. There are 17 goals and 169 targets. The agenda serves as a joint roadmap for all the countries in the world. One of the main principles of the Sustainable Development Goals is to leave no one behind. The most vulnerable should be given priority. In the UN General Assembly, all countries, small and large, have one vote and the same say. All member states are committed to follow the Constitution of the United Nations, the UN Charter, where peace and human rights are central topics. The most powerful organ of the UN is the Security Council. It's in charge of maintaining peace and security between nations. The Council has 15 members, 5 of which are permanent, and the remaining 10 members are elected for 2-year terms. Even though the UN is the most important organization working for world peace today, it also receives criticism for its shortcomings in the face of modern-day conflicts. Many argue that the organization needs to change to remain important in the future. The UN General Secretary has called for major reforms of the organization. Several member states have supported change to maintain world peace in years to come. No matter how you look at it, the UN is one of the most important meeting points in the world, as well as an arena for international cooperation. Even though the UN isn't perfect, it is the best we've got, and all nations must work together to take care of our world.
Now let's take the word against power. In your companion Bible, number 1725 is authority or delegates power. The liberty and right to put forth power. Rulers, world rulers. So who has the power to delegate power? The World Economic Forum, known as the WEF. The forum strives to model world-class corporated governance, where values are as important as rulers. The WEF is to oversee the forum's work in promoting the global citizenship. So here's a short clip on the WEF, the World Economic Forum.
We recognize that the world is changing at an incredible pace. What the World Economic Forum does is bring together leaders from all different backgrounds, from all different walks of life. And that provides a unique space for new ideas and new solutions to flourish.
Forum is really a very unique place. It's a place where industry comes together to work with government, to work with NGOs, academics, to truly make a difference in the world.
Leaders come together because of their own personal commitment to one another, to see follow-up to the discussions that they had at our meetings.
I'm generally really skeptical about panels and debates and presentations and whatnot, but I've actually been shocked to discover in the last year that it makes a huge difference.
The present challenges in a complex, interconnected, fast-moving world cannot be met by one stakeholder group alone. It needs collaborative efforts.
Magic moments happen all the time at the World Economic Forum, where the right kind of constituent unexpectedly will come together with somebody else who's looking for exactly that expertise.
Not only do the multi-stakeholder groups that we bring together talk, they also make changes.
A lot of the answers reside with practitioners, civil society voices, social entrepreneurs, young people, and others who are on the ground working with these populations at the front lines and finding solutions.
It challenges all your assumptions about your existing worldview, regardless of which part of the world you're from and how much experience you have.
Nowhere in the world is there another forum which brings together governments, NGOs, corporate leaders, activists, artists, musicians, to all come together and talk about the biggest issues facing the world.
In global challenges, very often there is no right answer. There is a best answer. That best solution only comes from engaging a diversity of stakeholders.
Then we take rulers of the darkness. Rulers. World rulers like the UN and the WEF. And now we have the World Health Organization, which is the WHO. Darkness. The present order of things of this world. The chief judges in Revelations chapter 17 verses 12 through 14 that we read, the 10 kings of the evil ones. Now let's watch what the World Health Organization, also known as the WHO, and what they represent.
Organization. The World Health Organization, also known as WHO, is a specialized agency of the United Nations and is devoted to international public health. But how did we get here? Well, WHO was established on April 7, 1948, with 61 countries having signed its constitution in 1946. It is now headquartered in Geneva in Switzerland and operates through offices in over 150 countries. WHO employees work side by side with governments and several partners to strive for the highest attainable health for all people. But how does the World Health Organization pursue that goal? WHO provides leadership, shapes the research agenda, and sets and promotes health norms and standards. WHO also monitors the world health situation and related trends. The budget on which the WHO operates is mainly supplied by its member states and partly by voluntary contributions. WHO's current priorities include, but are not limited to, communicable diseases like HIV, AIDS, Ebola, malaria, non-communicable diseases like cancer or heart diseases, substance abuse, and also sexual and reproductive health. Many of you might have heard of the World Health Report, and surprise, the WHO is responsible for this publication. WHO is also in charge of the World Health Day, which takes place every year on April 7th. Let's make sure everybody can celebrate a healthy life. Find more information on who.int.
Let's look at spiritual wickedness in high places. Spiritual. Host of the wickedness. I can see a host in Elon Musk. Back in Appendix 128. full of labors and pains in working mischief, evil intent, bad in nature, lawless, contempt of law. And let's go to Matthew chapter 12, verse 39. Matthew chapter 12, verse 39. But he answered and said unto them, An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall be no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonah. An evil and adulterous generation. Let's look at Luke chapter 11, verse 29. Luke chapter 11, verse 29. And it reads, Luke chapter 11, verse 29. And when the people were gathered thick together, he began to say, This is an evil generation, they seek a sign, and there shall be no sign be given it, but the sign of Jonah the prophet. Evil generation, they seek a sign. So let's take a little short clip of Elon Musk and what he's up to these days.
The batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors, gearboxes, the software, the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. It's the same techniques. It's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own. So you could have your own personal R2-D2 C-3PO. And I think at scale, this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000. Probably less than a car, is my prediction long term.
When we look around, do you see the signs? This is why we need the whole armor of Yahweh on and in place for these end times. Don't waver, keep in Father's word so you're not deceived. A lot of false teaching going around, so don't let it distract you from the truth. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickednesses in high places. High places. The heavenless host of the wickedness, back in Appendix 128. Remember the word host, more than one, it's plural. So these wicked spirits, they go around looking for a host. Well, what is a host? A host is a human body. The evil spirits look for hosts to deceive you. Okay, well, I hope this study helped you better understand what the principalities are, the power, the rulers of darkness, spiritual wickednesses in high places. Okay, well, I love you all, and you take care, and Stay in Father's Word. Try to get out there and spread a seed of Father's Word the best we can. Remember, Pastor Murray always said, even a smile can be a seed spread. Have a great day. Bye for now.